Greetings, I am Lies.
Oh my fucking god, I'm Scandal!
And let's play a game together.
I don't know why I do this.
Well, it's because you're going to start to eat a muffin, that's why.
Excuse me, memo, sir!
I just need to eat this whole muffin right now.
Is that the muffin you're eating?
Okay. So once we're able to live stream, we are so excited to hear/see all of you laughing like real time. It's going to be so good.
We're having such a good time. All right.
I take a muffin and I start to eat.
There's nothing better than a boy with Oh my god! There's nothing better than a boy with a hungry stomach. Come here, boy. Give me your
It's a Cheeto for an Eto. An Eto is what I call my hungry lips. Your hungry stomach, my hungry lips. Your hungry stomach. Blah, 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 blah. Whoa.
Oh my god.
Just imagining those ones that, have the mouth in the belly.
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
thing. The whole belly werewolf from, Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Or the,
Do you know what sucks? In the original, that stupid parasite was more like a pervert. Oh yeah, so the parasite...
Okay, so my friend has shared some of the original Vampire Hunter D books with me, and we haven't finished any of them, but what my friend has let me know, and I've slowly started to encounter, is that there is a lot of creepy sex stuff in the original books.
Yeah.
A lot.
Like, a lot of weird preoccupation with, please don't get me wrong. I'm just, I don't know how to describe it. It seems really strange to me because there's a really weird, hyper obsession, for example, with just how pretty Dee is. And I don't mean just once of how pretty he is, at least once per book. I'm talking about over and over and over and over again. Everyone
person that
is
ever
so gay for him.
sees him is just I don't care if he's a man and I'm a woman, I am gay for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's an overwhelming reassessment of your sexuality. He's so fucking pretty.
Yes, and it's ridiculous.
And it is described over and over again how youthful and strikingly beautiful. And even the I am ruffian, make hetero dude, white male, badass. You are a really fucking pretty man.
And you make me so angry, or just be I'm stunned, or
just, it's more I am stunned by it, and I will now address you differently because you're not what I was expecting.
At all.
And that's basically the tone I'm getting from this book series, and it's really interesting.
Yes, and I haven't bought the whole thing for
There's
full
a lot
disclosure.
of books, actually.
Yeah, the thing is that I don't even think they were done with translating all of them, or if they are. So what I have are the Dark Horse translations that they did several years ago, I think maybe late 2000, early 2000s.
And I bought a few of them a few years ago because I liked the animes, not knowing really much about them, but going, oh, it's a novelization kind of thing.
Right.
And not knowing that the movies came from the novelization kind of thing, I would say. But I own a few of those as well. You find them strangely in thrift shops every now and then.
There's also at least for me, a really hyper amount of basically predatory
sexual expression,
especially towards anybody who's identified as a woman in that series. Period. There's
a lot of
much non-con
and a lot of
in that series,
damseling,
and a lot of incest.
Yeah.
It's impressive. And again, it has its own reasons and it's fine, but I'm just wow, there is a lot of... But then again, it's supposed to be somewhat of a horror, so I guess it makes sense, but it's also just
incest can be horrifying to some people.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's no condemning the series or anything, just both of us were that is a lot different than the cartoons. Wow. Anyway.
And I started reading this series when I lived at home, which is amazing to me.
According to Irma, in the entire universe of all possible things, there is nothing better than a boy with a hungry stomach. And apparently, we are that boy.
Get some Cheetos for your eat hole.
Which
is what I call my hungry lips.
Yeah, it's...
hungry
it's
stomach.
Fine.
Whoa. Makes old women like me feel more inspired to cook for them.
Come
here, little boy.
To feed little boys. I'm getting a very, Hansel and Gretel kind of vibe. Maybe I shouldn't keep eating these muffins. Fifth muffin going into his mouth freezes.
Oh, no, it's quite all right. Please keep eating.
Keep eating.
Eat as much as you like.
I'm also old woman like me. I'm going, 1, are you her grandmother? But you said mother, didn't you?
Said
And then I'm
mom.
going, again, is this a menopause baby? Which would make any things more interesting. All the time, I'm like, I understand that these characters aren't important to your main romance plot. That's fine. You don't have to make them all important. But if you want them to be something like an unattractive old woman, just lean into it. Rena is a menopause baby, and her mom is 70 years old now.
Which also, though, is kind of terrible at the same time, too, that people have pointed out of being like, you seem to have this really heavy, aggressive assumption of, what women look like when they hit menopause, or this
Or when
experience
they're
of a
70.
70-year-old woman. Like, if you know anything
Okay.
about, like, politics in Hollywood, for example, for actors and actresses who get cast in certain roles, there is a serious fucking problem.
So years ago, there was this lovely movie made, which has its own problems, but is also fabulous in many ways, called The First Wives Club.
Yes.
And in it, there is a woman who is played by Goldie Hawn. The character in the movie is named Elise Elliott, and she's an actress. So you have an actress playing an actress. It's a very meta sort of experience. But
Yeah.
her character as an actress in there is struggling with the experience of being between acceptable age groups in Hollywood, where you are either, as she puts it, smoking hot babe, district attorney, or driving Miss Daisy. There is no basically attractive older woman. You're either 16 to 22 and hot as shit, or you're that 35-year-old district attorney who looks between 25 and 35, or you're ancient and unattractive.
Yeah.
Like, the silver fox doesn't really exist. I even made a bad, like tongue-in-cheek kind of joke to my friend not too long ago when we were making some mockery stuff of Beauty and the Beast, right?
Right.
And of how, the Disney one is like, he was 12 years old, and the Fae, was just like, you're an asshole child. And he's like, I'm a child. I also answered a door of the castle myself in the middle of the night. So, wow. But anyway, and I was like, yeah. And it turns out that he thinks she's ugly, not because she has a veneer of ugliness, but because it's literally little kids seeing older woman going, yeah, you're old, so I don't find you sexy. And her, being this incredible silver fox, has shown up looking brilliant and sexy for the desired age group that she, identifies with. And he's like, old ass adult person. And she's like, you're an offensive mofo. And then I said to my friend, I said, like 40, 45. And my friend's like, silver fox at 40 or 45? And I said, Hollywood rules. And my friend died inside a little bit.
Yeah, because it's true. It's actually, I think, a thing that I'm trying to remember that Meryl Streep, I think it is, that has complained about it before. Like, there's one of the big actresses in Hollywood that came out, though, where she was like, I literally refuse, basically past a certain age, I would never do the witch archetype, because that's what starts happening to older women, is that they get cast as the witch.
Crone.
The crone. And she said she
maiden,
wouldn't.
Mother, crone.
Right, and so she said she would never do it, but there was the release of a Sondheim musical called Into the Woods.
And it was Meryl Streep.
And it was her, and she went, okay, I'm breaking my rule. I'm going to play the witch.
For this one
thing, which I recommend watching Into the Woods if you haven't seen it. It's got some weird shit in it in regards to how it treats its women, and some of its plot and its agency goes all over the place. It's interesting, though.
If you like fantasies and musicals, or if you like fantasy and you like introspective fiction,
yep,
or if you like things that have really, really unusual, like interesting, subversive, but also complacent tropes, like it's a piece of literary experience.
It is, and that's the thing. Actually, like at one point, I wish we could talk more about it, but yeah, we're gonna keep going. Okay.
All right, so
old women like me feel more inspired to cook for them.
Me.
Keep eating.
That's baking, not cooking.
Just keep eating.
Oh, okay, sure. Irma, these are delicious. I cannot literally stop eating them.
This slowly becomes an inflation.
It's almost empty, and I just feel like I'll eat the plate when I'm done. They're enchanted.
It's okay. Keep going.
The reason Rena is so magical looking is because she's half fae. It's mine. By the way, now you are too. You've accepted my hospitality.
Thanks.
Oh, really good.
Why, thank you. Now, God, this is such a
now that you've eaten the gift, and you've accepted my hospitality.
I called you here because this is this is like a creepo.
Okay, also really weird. Do you know why Rena invited you here? I called you here because, hang on, did Rena invite me here or not?
Oh, honey.
I pull.
It's okay.
I control her.
Aye.
the piano has started. The one.
It did.
Ping!
So I was about to say, suddenly we have music. I was actually going to point out, and now we have no music.
There are so many parts of this game where for several like pages of dialogue, there's no sound at all.
Yes.
And it's like, it's not like our tablet isn't picking it up. It's just not
there. Yeah.
And I was just like, but you've just really forgotten. Rena called us here, or Rena invited us here. Are you saying that you sent Miki to come get us and that's you calling us here? Get your story straight.
Honey?
Do you know why Rena invited you here? Do you know why I called you here? You literally just said Rena invited us. She takes a quick look at Rena, making sure she's still sleeping despite all of her yelling. I'm going to tell you Rena's dying because I don't believe the nurses.
I would like to thank you for being such a good friend to her.
Have I been a good friend to her?
Of course, honey.
Yeah, we're great friends. I've been with her twice while she's bought chocolate.
Yep, and you've admired her body, haven't you?
I mean, it's really powerful.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Miki pointed it out to me.
Good. I'm glad Miki noticed. And I'm glad she brought you in on it. It's great. You know, my daughter here, she doesn't make friends easily.
She's one of the sweetest, kindest, most gentle, wonderful people you'll ever meet in all of your life in the whole world. But she doesn't make friends easily. She's a distant, quiet, wasting waifu over there. She just is the loner that just can't quite connect socially, that just isn't the popular girl. Gosh, despite my wasp waist and my huge breast and my fluffy lips and my hair for days and my glorious, glorious skin, no one likes me. It must be because I'm such an awkward book nerd. I haven't read any books about women ever, especially none written by, that were meant to appeal to a young female audience. And I have to say, I have never identified with any of those protags ever, and I find them frustrating to the general story overall.
Well, it's also the fact, too, that a lot of them really strongly play into the idea of going, I'm not like other girls. There's this basically inherent, socialized misogyny that you're taught, or basically self-hate, that you're taught to engage in and going, other girls aren't like me. Other girls will never understand. It's like,
yes.
Stop fucking shitting on each other. Oh my God.
So I want to support my friend in this here really quick and really solidly. So the I'm not like other girls trope, whatever way they take it, whether it's like tomboy, whether it's into sports, whether it's more of a nerd, whether it's I'm a weeb, whatever it is, I'm a mechanic, anything. What I really loved was when someone came forward, okay, so the old Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie before there was ever the series.
Yep.
Campier than the series and had a different tone, but I love that movie. In it, the boy, the male love interest, the valuable, attractive dude for the series, because it is your classic teen drama with the romance in there. It's got everything, right?
Oh, yeah.
I would say, he's like, you're not like other girls. And she's like, yeah, I am. And when she says it with everything behind it, it really is. The things that girls love are valid. Don't shit on women's interests or what they care about, or girls' interests or what they care about. She loves shopping, and she loves makeup, and she loves cheerleading, and she also loves kicking ass and killing vampires.
Yeah.
And she's like, I haven't stopped loving those things, and they're because of me, not because of you. And I'm not like other girls, because other girls are also badass and awesome and valid.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was just so cool. It was one of the coolest lines I heard when I was a young girl, going, but based on all the literature I've read, you have to be different than other girls or you're not valuable. And she's like, fuck that. I am just like other girls. And he's like, maybe I've never really noticed other girls before, properly, at all.
Yeah,
and it's great. At the height of the movie, when things have gone wrong and your primary rising action has resolved itself horribly and you haven't hit the climax yet, you're just in the downer part of the movie where it looks like everything's going to go bad. She's like, I am going shopping. And it's so great in the way that she's empowering herself, but even in it was almost like a spiritual predecessor to Legally Blonde, but without her having that same airheaded feel throughout the whole thing. They shifted the tone a little bit stronger.
Right.
But it's right in there with that. If you love those things, it doesn't make you stupid.
Right.
Or less valuable. Anyway.
It just means you have different interests. And that was the big thing that was also fun about Legally Blonde, because so I had never seen Legally Blonde until I watched it with my friend.
I know,
which was
so
good. And it was a fantastic experience of it just being this is a lot of fun. Now, it was funny in the sense of there obviously are legal things that she was totally doing that were wildly illegal, but it was really good, and I liked it of being yeah, okay, maybe not my interest, but it was going, she has skills here. She has awareness here. She has her subcultural background with being interested in fashion, and it totally came into play. Like, it was that thing of where we both actually got really upset in regards to, like, Lily's garden and going, this was a thing that Lily was good at. This was her job. She was an accountant. And what do? They don't use it for the story. Like,
Ever.
it was ever.
And it's incredibly relevant to the type of story she's going through.
I know.
Like, I mean, Buffy's skills came into play. Elle Woods in Legally Blonde, they came into play.
Yeah.
Lily essentially didn't exist until she now has inherited this, even though they wrote her a backstory that they then proceeded to just shelve, except for the purpose of dramatic guy.
I was about to say, and that's all there was there. Going, the only thing that's important is that you had a previous relationship with an abusive dude.
All right, so she doesn't make friends very easily. All right.
We've been moving from town to town.
She didn't tell me that in her backstory.
Oh, she doesn't actually have a chance to meet new people.
Because every town you go to has the same people in it.
Yes.
Says Himbo in the wheelchair. Right. They're always the same people, because all hospitals have the same people in them. I understand. Very serious, I understand.
And now that she's here, I'm so glad she's met you.
Because I'm a new person, right?
Yeah, you're very new. You have a new experience and everything, don't you, mister?
A new experience that I could collect that.
That'd be great. I'm kind of like the Witch of the Waste in Howl's Moving Castle in the book. So if you're familiar with the book, it's like that. But I imagine you don't read much, do you, honey?
So you gotta know it got a little darker in the book.
Just a little bit.
Irma, I don't know what to say.
Bare minimum human decency. Everyone in this story is crawling all over the protag for just being nice to the waifu.
In this case, for just existing near her, like,
yeah,
there's very like, I'm just so glad she's met you.
But that is, I'm like, barest minimum nice. I didn't say it was overbearing or like,
I know,
but like, barest minimum, wow, Rena, you're really great. Like, that is what this is ridiculous.
And also not like there's an interesting level of I trust my daughter's judge of character implicitly in every way. So my daughter has been clearly gushing about you. I feel like I'm really familiar with you because she said so freaking much and she won't talk about anything else, basically. You're her only friend, because nurses don't count. I'm sorry. And then it's just like, she's like, I baked muffins for you, and I'm here to tell you that I'm so grateful she knows you. Not to, like, find out what your intentions are, to learn about you, anything. And it's a good damn thing Rena's asleep. Otherwise, she might be like, yeah, my new friend Mister, and yesterday he assaulted me and almost suffocated me, and then it was really weird when he put his face really, really, really close to mine, and it seemed like he was going to put his face on mine, and then Louisa walked in and he stopped. Yeah. And then it wasn't weird anymore.
No, of course not, mister.
'Cause he's really nice like that.
Yeah.
Mom.
Mom, I will murder him.
Don't worry, honey. I'll take care of it.
You know what?
Go back to sleep.
You just know that he was a very good friend to you.
He was.
And he is going to forever be a friend in your memory. Wheels you out of the room.
Ever.
Quietly. You, Irma, you're never seen again. The game just ends.
You're
Bye. You have died.
I love the freaking thing for, what is it, Bloodborne or my brain going, Soulsborne. It's Dark Souls, goddammit.
I don't know what to say. Rena's a nice person. I'm happy to be her friend. I also literally pushed my way into her life to be her friend. It was my agenda to be friends with all of the attractive women that I felt like I should have access to in this hospital. And she was just so cute. I told her when we first met that we were friends, and I even told her that we would see each other again and that I hoped to see her again. And she was real confused at first because she had no connection to me, but it didn't matter because I talked her into it, and now we are friends. And I'm so glad you're so glad about that.
Perfect. I know. My daughter's saying a lot of good things about you. God, this is so,
I love this feeling.
tongue-in-cheek horror.
Like she's just going to eat him at any second.
Yes,
this quiet, she's so many good things about you, quietly unbuttoning her overshirt because she's just going to devour you with her entire self.
And you're like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Hi.
It's fine.
I've never seen her so happy.
So anyone who's watching this and has heard us say that we don't like horror is probably like, what are you talking about? You put horror into everything.
I'm going, well, when it's written like that, why not?
So what it is it's not that we don't like horror. It's that we don't like being scared by things. But horror is interesting for sure.
Of course horror is fascinating. It's one of those things,
Oh,
again,
God.
like exploring stuff in a controlled scenario.
Her whole life.
Again, I've never seen her so happy.
You, in her entire life and all of her years, you've never seen her as happy as I make her?
Yeah.
I'm so flattered. I make Rena happy.
You should be, dear, because in the next one, we will find out whether or not you survive.
Yay!
So welcome to Montezuma's temple. No. So thank you very much, guys, though, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share our videos if you're having a good time with us.
Yay!
Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or Patreon. We got some links in the description down below. And I have been Scandal.
Welcome to the house on Haunted Hill. And I have been Lies, and it was great playing with you.